All right, welcome everyone to the deep dive. You know we like to get right into it here, no time wasted. We unpack complex topics for you, the listener who's, well, busy. You want the insights and you want them fast. So today we're doing just that, diving deep into artificial intelligence in manufacturing. And right off the bat, let's drop this idea that AI is some futuristic thing just for the tech giants out there. It's not. AI is really becoming the essential toolkit for, well, any manufacturer really who is looking to, get that competitive edge and seriously boost their efficiency.
Couldn't agree more. We've gone ahead and distilled all those core insights about AI and manufacturing. We want to give you that knowledge that you really need. So our goal today is to kind of map out what AI is actually doing in the manufacturing sector, see where it's making the biggest waves, what are those tangible benefits that manufacturers are actually seeing, what are the real challenges they're facing, and how are they implementing AI on the ground.
Yeah, I think that's key. We want to move past the hype and look at what's actually working. And get ready, folks, because there are some surprising facts in here. And you know me, I love those aha moments, right? Makes it all worthwhile.
Absolutely.
So let's set the stage here. Think about all the pressures manufacturers are dealing with these days, right? Tight margins, energy costs that seem to just keep going up, supply chains that are, well, let's just say they're unpredictable. And then there's the constant demand for better products, faster production, all at a lower cost. It's a lot. And it makes you wonder if AI can actually step in and do things like predict when a crucial piece of equipment's about to go kaput, or optimize production lines to squeeze out every bit of efficiency, or even drastically cut down on waste. You have to ask, why isn't every single factory out there using AI? I mean, it seems like a no-brainer,
All
right?
right. Right.
Well, let's find out.
Okay. Let's start by kind of taking a look at the current landscape of AI in manufacturing. At its core, we're talking about using, these smart algorithms and tons of data to automate all those routine tasks that take up so much time and to, get ahead of potential problems before they even happen. And of course, to really elevate the quality of the products being made and ultimately drive that efficiency across, well, the whole manufacturing process from the factory floor to the entire logistics network.
And the scale of all this is just, it's immense. The global market for AI in manufacturing, well, it was valued at, get this, $5.2 billion this year in 2024 alone. But here's where it gets really interesting. Projections show an average annual growth rate of, wait for it, 46.5% from 2025 to 2030. That's not just growth. That's like it's a total shift, right? With huge economic impacts.
Yeah, absolutely. And this rapid growth, it's really being fueled by several key technological advancements. The first one we're going to talk about is these advanced machine learning algorithms. They've evolved like crazy to the point where we have these sophisticated models, often called deep learning. You can think of it as these complex layers of like artificial neural networks that are analyzing data in a way that tries to mimic how our human brains learn. And these models can process huge amounts of industrial data with pretty remarkable accuracy. For example, NVIDIA, they've reported that manufacturers who are using these algorithms are seeing up to a 30% improvement in predicting equipment breakdowns. And get this, a 25% reduction in those really disruptive, unplanned downtime events. Think about all the cost savings, all the extra production time that frees up.
That's massive. And that actually leads right into our second key driver, which is the Internet of Things, IoT, and all that connectivity, right? We're talking about an increasingly interconnected world, especially in manufacturing. I mean, by 2025, Statista expects a mind-blowing 75.4 billion IoT devices globally. Now, what that means for manufacturing is a constant stream of real-time data coming in from everywhere. This allows for way smarter monitoring and decision-making. Imagine every single piece of equipment in a factory constantly giving feedback, right? Allowing manufacturers to make adjustments before problems even crop up. It's incredible.
Precisely. And to handle all this incredible data, you need serious processing power. And that brings us to the third crucial element, which is cloud computing and edge computing. These technologies have really changed the game for AI in manufacturing. In fact, IDC predicts that by next year, 2024, 50% of all manufacturing assets are going to be connected through these industrial IoT platforms. Cloud computing provides that centralized processing and storage, while edge computing brings the processing power closer to where the data is actually being generated. This allows for immediate analysis and action. You can think of the cloud as like the central brain, and then edge computing is like all these mini brains spread throughout the factory. This combo, cloud and edge, it enables that real-time data crunching, reduces delays, offers better scalability, and even improves data security. It's about having the right intelligence working in the right place at the right time.
It's like giving the factory a nervous system, right?
Right.
With lightning-fast reflexes. That makes a lot of sense. But none of this would even be possible without the fourth key driver, which is those advanced sensor technologies, right? These sensors have become super refined and, importantly, way more affordable. Deloitte, they highlighted some pretty impressive results. Manufacturers who are using these advanced sensors are seeing a 10 to 20% boost in production output, a 15 to 25% drop in maintenance costs, and significant improvements in the consistency and quality of their products. I mean, that's a return on investment you can really see.
Oh, for sure. And finally, we got to give credit to the powerhouse behind all of this, computing power and the huge impact of GPU acceleration. The ability to process these complex AI models quickly, it's essential. And NVIDIA, they've pointed out that modern graphics processing units, GPUs, can handle these AI workloads up to 50 times faster than those traditional central processing units, CPUs. This boost in speed, it allows for some pretty sophisticated real-time analytics. Manufacturers can make faster, more informed decisions right there on the factory floor. So all these technologies, they're coming together to make AI not just a possibility, but really a necessity for manufacturers who want to stay ahead of the curve.
Okay, so we've got the driving forces down, and let's get specific. Where is AI actually having the biggest impact in manufacturing right now? What are the key applications that are delivering real results? Let's dive into that.
Yeah, a prime example is predictive maintenance. This is where AI really shines, forecasting when equipment might fail. It's like giving machines a voice to say, hey, something feels a little off here. You might want to check on this before it turns into a major headache.
I love that. It's like giving the machines a way to talk to us, right? So how does this actually work in practice?
Well, it relies on a few key components. First, you have real-time monitoring through various sensors. These track all those important performance indicators. Then you have AI algorithms that are trained to spot those tiny deviations from normal operating patterns. And then there are those sophisticated diagnostics that can pinpoint exactly which part needs attention. The benefits are huge. McKinsey estimates that predictive maintenance can cut maintenance costs by as much as 40%. And how do you implement it? Well, it involved installing those advanced sensors I mentioned on all the critical equipment, developing machine learning models. That's a type of AI where computers learn from data without being explicitly programmed to analyze all that data coming in, creating predictive algorithms based on all that historical failure data, and setting up real-time alert systems that notify the maintenance teams when something seems off.
Wow, that sounds absolutely crucial for any manufacturer who's dealing with, expensive and mission-critical machinery. What's another application making a big impact?
Another major area is quality control and inspection. You know, those traditional manual inspection methods, they can be prone to human error, especially when you're dealing with really intricate components or huge production volumes. AI-powered visual inspection systems, they're transforming this whole process. By using techniques like high-resolution image analysis and machine learning, AI can actually spot those tiny flaws, even microscopic ones, that a human inspector might miss. We're talking about a whole new level of product quality and consistency.
That's a game changer, especially for industries where precision and reliability are, well, everything.
Absolutely. Some of the advanced techniques involved are pretty incredible. We're talking about analyzing images in extreme detail, instantly detecting any anomalies, and using machine learning to recognize those super subtle patterns that can indicate a defect. And the results are impressive: higher accuracy in identifying defects, a huge reduction in the time spent on manual inspections, and fewer false positives, which means you don't have good products being flagged as defective. Now, how do you implement all this? Typically, it involves training those AI models with massive data sets of images. You need both perfect and defective product images so the AI can learn the difference. Then you deploy high-speed cameras right on the production line, and you integrate real-time feedback into the manufacturing process so you can address issues the moment they pop up.
So AI is not just predicting problems, it's also ensuring better quality in everything you produce. Amazing. What other areas are seeing a lot of adoption of AI in manufacturing?
Another really important area is supply chain optimization. AI is making the shift from reactive supply chain management to a truly predictive approach possible. By crunching huge amounts of data, AI can help manufacturers anticipate those disruptions that always seem to happen, optimize their inventory, and just make smarter, data-driven decisions across their entire supply network.
I mean, that's more crucial than ever, given all the volatility and disruptions we've seen recently in global supply chains. So how does AI tackle these really complex challenges?
It does it in a few key ways. For demand forecasting, AI algorithms. They analyze historical sales data, look at market trends, even factor in external factors like, economic indicators or even weather patterns to try and predict future customer demand more accurately. Then for inventory management, AI provides that real-time visibility into stock levels. It automates reordering processes based on predicted demand and helps minimize those carrying costs that can really eat into profits. And then for risk mitigation, AI can identify those potential risks in the supply chain, maybe suggest alternative suppliers or shipping routes, and even help create dynamic contingency plans to minimize disruptions if something does happen. It's about building a more resilient, efficient, and agile supply network.
It's like having a crystal ball, but one that's actually based on real data, right?
Exactly.
Okay, what about the core production processes themselves? Is AI playing a big role right there on the factory floor?
Absolutely. One way is through production planning and scheduling. AI gives manufacturers the power to create production environments that are not only super efficient, but also really responsive to changes in customer demand, resource availability, all those ever-changing factors.
So it's about creating a more flexible and adaptable approach to manufacturing, right?
Exactly. Two key aspects of this are resource allocation and dynamic scheduling. With resource allocation, AI algorithms, they optimize how the workforce is deployed, they balance the usage of different machines, and minimize any downtime. Then you have dynamic scheduling, which involves making real-time adjustments to production schedules based on what's happening at that moment. This helps identify potential bottlenecks before they become a problem and just maximizes overall production efficiency. All of this is powered by machine learning algorithms that are analyzing production data, real-time integration of data from all those different sources on the factory floor, and predictive analytics to anticipate any issues.
So you can actually increase output without necessarily needing more equipment or a bigger factory.
Exactly. And then we have the exciting field of generative design and product development. This is where AI algorithms explore a huge range of design possibilities based on performance needs, material limitations, and even manufacturing processes. This can help engineers optimize designs in ways that they might not have thought of before.
So AI isn't just making how we make things better, it's helping us design better things from the start.
That's right. With automated design generation, you can create tons of design iterations quickly, optimize for specific things like weight, strength, or cost, and shrink that traditional design cycle time significantly. AI can also help with material and manufacturing optimization. It can suggest innovative combinations of materials, figure out how to minimize waste during production, and improve the overall structural integrity and how easy it is to actually manufacture the product. So how does this work? Well, you start by defining the performance parameters and constraints. You train the AI models on all the existing design data and material properties, and then you let the AI generate and evaluate a whole bunch of design concepts.
This is all so impressive. So let's zoom out for a second. What are the big overarching benefits that manufacturers can really expect to see when they implement AI in a smart way?
The benefits are pretty significant and they touch a lot of areas. First, you get increased operational efficiency and less downtime because of all that continuous monitoring, the accurate predictions of equipment failures, and all those tasks that are now automated. Second, you get big cost savings because you're optimizing resource utilization. This includes smart inventory management, predicting when you need to order materials, dynamic production scheduling that minimizes downtime, and even optimizing energy usage. Third, you see enhanced product quality and consistency thanks to those advanced vision systems and machine learning algorithms that can spot even the tiniest defects. Fourth, you get improved worker safety because AI can take over those hazardous and repetitive tasks, often by using robotics or cobots. And finally, you get that agility to respond to market changes quickly because predictive analytics let you adapt your production plans on the fly and just be more flexible in your manufacturing strategies.
It really does paint a pretty compelling picture. But for a manufacturer out there listening who's thinking, okay, this all sounds great, but how do I even begin? Where do I start with bringing AI into my operations? What are some of the crucial steps to really integrate AI successfully?
That's a great question, and it's something we get asked a lot. Implementing AI isn't something you just jump into without a plan. It requires a structured approach. The very first step is a comprehensive assessment of where you stand right now. You need to evaluate your existing tech infrastructure, find those bottlenecks that are slowing you down, and understand the specific problems you're hoping to solve with AI. Second, you got to define clear and measurable objectives. What exactly do you want to achieve with AI? Make it concrete. Third, you got to prepare your technology and infrastructure. This might mean upgrading your sensor networks, boosting your cloud computing capabilities, and making sure your data security is rock solid. Fourth, you need a solid data strategy and management plan because high-quality data is the fuel that powers AI. Fifth, focus on talent acquisition and skill development. You might need to bring in people with AI and machine learning expertise, and you'll definitely need to train your existing workforce to use these new tools effectively. Sixth, start with pilot projects. Small, targeted initiatives to test the waters, see what works, and learn from the experience before you go big. And finally, make sure you have a plan for scalable deployment and continuous optimization. You need to be able to roll out successful pilots across your entire organization and have processes in place to monitor and refine your AI systems over time. AI is a journey, not a destination.
It's like a roadmap, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got the roadmap, but let's be real. Implementing a technology this powerful, this transformative, there's got to be some bumps in the road, right?
Yeah.
What are some of the big challenges that manufacturers typically run into?
You're absolutely right. There are challenges. One we see all the time is a shortage of skilled workers who have the specific AI and machine learning skills that manufacturing needs. This can definitely slow down how quickly you can adopt AI. Plus, a lot of the technology infrastructure in factories, well, it wasn't built for this. It can lack the interoperability that you need for AI systems to integrate seamlessly. You need those different machines and software platforms talking to each other. And then there's data quality, which is huge. If the data you're feeding into those AI algorithms is incomplete, outdated, or just plain wrong, the results are going to be unreliable. And the stats bear this out. A big chunk of AI and machine learning projects end up stalling or getting canceled altogether, and bad data is often the culprit. And lastly, you got to build trust. People can be wary of complex algorithms, and rightfully so. Building confidence that these systems are reliable and understandable, that's crucial.
These are all really important things for our listeners to think about. So for a manufacturer tuning in who's struggling with some of these very things, maybe it's inefficiencies, maybe costs are rising, maybe they're stuck with old systems, what can we at Kanerika do to help?
Well, at Kanerika, we have a lot of experience in both agentic AI and traditional AML methods, and we've been helping businesses across different sectors, especially manufacturing, to tackle these challenges and make some real impactful changes. We focus on building those purpose-driven AI agents and developing custom generative AI models that are designed to solve real problems that manufacturers face every day.
Give us some examples, like how are you actually helping manufacturers on the ground?
Sure. So we develop solutions for inventory optimization to help companies keep the right amount of stock on hand without those high carrying costs. We build tools for sales forecasting that give manufacturers more accurate predictions to help them plan production better. We even build systems for something called arithmetic data validation. This ensures that all your crucial operational data is accurate and reliable. We also work on vendor evaluation, helping companies make smarter decisions about where they source their materials. And we've even developed solutions for smart product pricing that help optimize pricing strategies to maximize revenue and profits.
So it's about taking these powerful AI concepts and turning them into real-world tools that address those very specific pain points that manufacturers feel every day, right?
That's exactly it. And our AI tech can also boost those existing capabilities that companies already have. We can make information retrieval faster and more efficient, which is a big deal when manufacturers have mountains of data. We've got advanced video analysis for things like quality control and monitoring safety on the production line. And we can make financial planning and forecasting way more accurate. Our goal at Kanerika is to help manufacturers unlock those gains in efficiency and drive innovation without disrupting everything they're already doing. We want to help them get over those hurdles that come with adopting new tech and scale their AI capabilities with confidence and a clear path to a return on their investment.
It sounds like a real partnership, not just someone selling them a piece of software and walking away.
Exactly.
So for someone listening who wants to explore this more, who wants to see how Kanerika can help them, what should they do?
You know, smarter manufacturing starts with using AI in a smart way. And we at Kanerika are here to help build that future. If you're ready to see how our expert AI implementation services can help your manufacturing operations specifically, I encourage you to book a meeting with our team. We'd love to talk through your unique challenges, understand your situation, and explore customized solutions that are designed to meet your needs and get you where you want to go.
Perfect. Well, as we wrap up our deep dive here, it's clear that AI isn't some futuristic fantasy in manufacturing anymore. It's a powerful force that's changing the game, driving massive improvements in efficiency, product quality, worker safety, and agility across a ton of applications. And all this is happening because of those incredible advancements in the underlying technologies we talked about. Sure, there are challenges, but a strategic approach, a clear vision of what you want to achieve, and the right expertise are key to success in this exciting and rapidly changing landscape.
And what's really remarkable is this shift from reactive to proactive operations that we're seeing in manufacturing. AI is empowering companies to get ahead of problems, not just react to them. They can optimize their processes in real time and gain those lasting competitive advantages in today's global market.
And on that note, let's leave you with one final thought. Think about where AI is headed in manufacturing. We're talking about a future with adaptable, self-optimizing, maybe even hyper-customized AI-driven factories. How is this going to reshape your operations? How is it going to change the entire manufacturing industry? And what about the human element? What role are people going to play in this world of intelligent machines? Will it be more about strategy, innovation, and managing these sophisticated AI systems? It's a future worth thinking about.
Absolutely. And if you're ready to take that deeper dive into how AI can transform your specific manufacturing operations, book a meeting with us at Kanerika. We'd love to explore those tailored solutions designed to meet your unique challenges.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.
Thanks, everyone.